guys, welcome back to another Building Kashyyyk weekly segment. Guys, this week is going to be awesome. As promised from last week, I said I was going to build, and this week I built. And I think a lot of you are really going to enjoy this. For anybody who's been complaining about me building less, trust me, this video will make it up for you. Because at the end of the video, I got a really cool surprise for it. Don't be that person to go click onto the end of the video. Watch the video, check it out. There's a lot of things to see this video, guys. We build the Kashyyyk tree. I won't spoil it just yet, but we definitely hit that a lot. We also hit some other things, and I think a lot of you are really going to enjoy this. So enough of me talking, let's get right into the segment right now.
Alright guys, just getting into the segment. The first thing you're looking at right now is actually kind of a little mini Kashyyyk wall, and I think it's kind of cute actually. But obviously we're not going for cute, but I just wanted to see what it looked like. I'm actually considering the idea of, I told you guys that we were thinking of doing the Kashyyyk wall kind of like, hovering around the two trees, so there'd be one kind of, oops, knocked the figure over, there'd be one kind of going like that, and there'd be another one kind of curving over, and there'd be a breaking point in the middle so that the door right there has an opening for the turbo tanks and stuff. So because of that, I felt like, well, those big walls and there's this giant gap between them, it wouldn't look that great. So I have another idea of, I think I'm going to take it one more brick up. This is 4 bricks high. I think I'll take it one more brick up high, and I actually think that'll look pretty good because that'll be bigger than the droid here. That'll be just as tall as the droid actually. So I think that'll actually look really good, and we'll have that kind of cascading here. Now here's the cool thing: is it'll work. The reason why the smaller Kashyyyk wall will work is because it'll curve around, and when it gets to like over here, we can because it's only 5 bricks high, we can go take it down every 4 studs. We can take it down by 1 5 times, and so it'll look like it's kind of like cascading down into the sand, for the entrance between the door, and then over here it'll cascade back up out of the sand. Now some of you may or may not have gotten what I just said there, but I guarantee you, I think it's going to look really cool. I like the idea of doing that. I think a lot of you will be like, what? No, why are you getting rid of the huge, cool Kashyyyk wall? Obviously, we're going to keep this really cool design. It's pretty much going to be the exact same thing, but it's going to be longer. It's going to be a bit shorter. And I think it's going to look really good, because if you have the 2 sides cascade down into the sand, it literally looks like it's kind of sinking down in the sand on both sides for that middle structure. It'll look more realistic, I guess you could say, even though this is all made out of plastic. It'll look more realistic because it kind of makes sense. The wall would it's not so big, but it would kind of make sense that way if you think about it. So that's my idea. Let me know you guys like that idea. The other thing I have going on here is, you can see I've made more progress on the Kashyyyk tree number 2, and it is looking great. I've already made a pretty big amount of progress. Last week we were only pretty much right there, so I've already doubled size and even gone a little bit more over here already. But we're going to go even more in this segment because I told you guys we're going to keep on building. So let's see how much more I can build of this Kashyyyk tree in the segment. Plus, I just got the parts in for building these things over here, so we're going to see those built. So a lot of exciting building in this segment. As I told you guys last week, we're going to focus on building, and that's exactly what we're about to do. And it keeps on getting bigger. So yeah, so guys, I just worked another couple hours on the tree, and it's gotten even larger now. It looks really good actually. I had to spend a little bit of time kind of tweaking it. I want to make sure it was getting the right shape and size all the way around. And I think I've pretty much got it. Again, what we're doing is it's going up. But while it's going up, it's going not this direction or that direction, but that direction. So it's like it's interesting because Lego obviously is meant to go one direction, but we're actually going kind of like that. So it's kind of like you got to go that way, then that way, and that way, and it kind of just builds its way up so it looks like it's going that way. So yeah. anyhow, you can kind of see from a straight down view, you can see how we're obviously moving towards that way, because these sides right here are getting lower. So yeah, anyhow, it's getting pretty tall already. That didn't really take long, and it's looking pretty great as well, compared to the one over here. I think this one's going to be a little thicker. It might even be a little taller as well than that tree. I know it's definitely already thicker. The stem wise, it's already thicker, and as you can see, this our little hole here, it's almost to the edge here already. So we're definitely moving over fast. So like 4 more layers. What is that? That is a brick high, basically. So, well, actually, yeah. So once we get to that height where that brick is standing up, we're already, well, maybe a little bit bigger. Probably more like that big. That's about 6 from that height. Okay, there we go. Once we get to that height of the black brick, that means we're out of space of this hole right here that we build around. Don't worry about that. I got a whole bunch of these. But once we get to that, if you guys remember, then we start a new one. So that'll probably be right here. Now, something I just want to remind everybody, I want to show this again. I don't know if I really focused on this in the last tree. But notice how when I'm building up, I'm also, the way I place these long braces, these things, I don't use them, as you can see, I really don't use them too often. I only use them like every other layer. The reason why I do that is because, again, this is our center structure mount. So this is where all the force is kind of going down and kind of building up on. And so these are our braces. You got to think this in the most construction engineering way possible. So when we're building up, we have to have our braces that are holding on to this part that we're growing on. And you can see the braces are actually kind of focusing on this area, because this area is getting smaller. Because this is where the actual main focus is. So this is a very sturdy place, but since this is going to be the loose part, since it's eventually going to hang over, as we've seen over here, I tend to kind of spread it out these ways, like that, so that the force is equally distributed. And so we get up to this part, say we're up to here now, then when I push down on it, there's not going to be any breakage because the force is equally distributed. So that's how that works. Maybe that made 0 sense to you, but that is how the engineering way, that's how you would look at it. So yeah. Anyhow, so like for example, like as this continues to grow, I'll push and kind of do that to connect them. So yeah, and just to show you what it kind of looks like compared to the other tree, it's pretty big. It really is pretty big already compared to the other Kashik tree over here. Well, bag's in the way there, but yeah, so we're already getting there. This is from that height, so you can see we're almost the halfway point. But again, this one might be a little taller, so maybe a little bit more to the halfway point. So yeah, we are underway with this building, and it's looking just fantastic. So without ado, let's go and continue on. Alright guys, so this is pretty awesome now. As you can see right there, the tree is almost, yeah, I'd say it's at least halfway, including to the part of the top of the tree right there. That is halfway. So that's right, already half of the Kashik tree number 2 is already done. So let's take a look at it. So coming in, I did a lot more work since we last looked at it, and as you can see, it looks awesome, like it should. Did a lot of different designs on it, and I think it's already looking really great. I did some interesting work right here, and I really like what I did. I don't know, I wanted to make it different, but not too different from this one. This one I had a lot of slopes going on and stuff. This one I wanted to do a little different pattern technique, so they're both kind of unique and not really just exact copies of each other. So I've basically kind of just put the outside part of the front here on. And as you can see, still have a lot to fill in the middle, but I usually go one layer at a time to fill in the middle, but every time I put a layer here, I have to put a layer around here, so it kind of every time this goes up, it means the whole thing goes up. So yeah, anyhow, so this right now might look like there's too much going this way, but you'll notice that all of this is at the same height, but all of this is still lower. You see, as this goes up, I'll be pushing it this way. So even though it might look like all of this is going that way, I'm going to push this way, and while this is right now it's at an angle, and when it goes up it'll go more that way, so it'll look like it's equally distributed going that way. So yeah, so it's looking really great. Center structure's right there, and yeah, so I'm really liking the way it's looking. Looks pretty awesome if you ask me. So yeah, I'd say it's definitely about halfway done, and that's a good way to almost be putting the segment off, is halfway point. So by next week we could actually, I think it's more than possible by next week we'll have the thing around it. Now I think one of the biggest points of you guys, this is a comment I get a lot, is why don't I put another layer of the platforms around it? And a lot of you might say it's more accurate, because it is. The actual Kashik trees have multiple platforms, like almost 12 different platforms. There's actually an inside part of the tree. There's a lot of detail to these giant Kashik trees, and they're actually a city. The actual Kashik Beach you see in Star Wars, there's a city for that, and that's because they're known for those giant trees at that location of the Kashik world. So yeah, you guys are absolutely right. I should definitely have multiple platforms, but the thing about this MOC is the scale is so much different, as a lot of you notice. Like, for example, the trees are absolutely not minifig scale. Then that's why I only did one platform on the tree, is because they're not minifig scale. If anything, they're like mini scale, like mini scale. So a minifigure would be the size of this piece right here, and we're not going for that. We're going for minifig scale because we want a giant minifigure battle and all that, and it's going to be used for stop motion and such. So everything's been sort of scaled in a different way. So even if I had those multiple platforms, first of all, it looked way too complicated, and it just, trust me when I say this, it just wouldn't flow right, because if I had multiple of these platforms right there, it would look it wouldn't look like a tree. It would look like a building made with wood or something. It wouldn't look like a tree, basically. It would ruin the whole tree look, and that's not what I'm going for. Another thing you guys I didn't really ever see this pointed out, but these things I'm building right here, which I'll get to in just a second, these things right here, I forget exactly what they're called, but we're just going to call them circular platforms for the example of this video. These circular platforms, these are way bigger. In like Star Wars Battlefront, if anybody's played that, I'm sure a lot of you hardcore fans have been, you will know that in figure size, those things are huge. They're probably like 4 times the size of the one I have here built. But everything's been scaled down for the MOC. So that is why there's not multiple layers of platforms and other things that other minor details that I'm definitely going to have a lot of extra details, don't get me wrong, but not in that sense of accuracy to the movie. It's not going to, I'm telling you guys right now, this entire Kashyyyk MOC is not going to be 100% accurate to the base or the movie for 2 reasons. One, we're doing a minifigure scale on this size table, which just can't accomplish with the amount of Lego we have access to, my funds and such. And also, another reason why it's not 100% accurate is because I have a base. There was never actually a base, to my knowledge at least, There's never actually a giant base door like that. So we've definitely made our own, my personal edits, I should say. You guys helped definitely on the way along. So, you know, that is your guys' comment. I see you guys' comments. I'm definitely paying attention. And I just wanted to address that to everybody, that yes, I realize that I'm missing some details that are obviously on these Kashyyyk trees and other things, but the big problem here is we're doing this at minifigure scale on this size of a MOC, and it is huge as it is. I know it's huge, but actually Kashyyyk is even bigger than this. I would need probably 5 ping pong table sizes to get the entire look of Kashyyyk right in minifigure scale. But the thing is, we're not going to be that accurate with it. And I know that might make some of you sad, but we're going to make a good MOC as the best, with enough accuracy that you can look at this and say, that is Kashyyyk, that looks awesome, without the nitpickers also coming in and say, well, that's not there and whatnot. So we're going to do an overall good job, but not obviously completely 100% accurate. It'll probably be like 70-50% accurate to the movie version. Not everything will be in place, and things will be different. So for all you nitpickers out there, suck it up or not watch the video. But to anybody who has constructive criticism, please keep giving that. I love that type of stuff. Anybody who's just saying, no, that's not accurate, I'm going to stop watching the video. Yeah, you should stop watching the video with that attitude. Anyhow, also made some more of these, as you guys can see. These things flip over like that, obviously. So I have, let's see, the 7 right there. Working on another right here, and I'll go ahead and stack them up and put them alongside the beach, and that'll be the final part of the segments, which I will show now. Alright guys, so we're going to finish off the segment with something really awesome, but first I just want to show this quick drawing of Kashyyyk and what I had in mind for what both trees was going to look like. It's nothing special, it doesn't really look that great to me. But here's like the Kashyyyk wall. It's not super big, but it's also big enough that it's not or you'll notice it. You can kind of see it's dipping down like that, and sort of curves a little bit like that in front of the 2 trees. And then you have the pathway for the turbo tank right here. You have the dip in the sand here. Got some barricades there. We're gonna have some grass and greeny right here. It's gonna be kind of open because there's going to be a lot of tracks right here. You can also notice the Kashyyyk mountain behind here is obviously taller than this tree, so you can see how this is about the height it will be at. You can see that's definitely going to look really great. But the last thing, but the last thing is I got a big surprise for you guys. Check it out. Check that out. That is the platforms all set up. And I think it looks absolutely awesome. Like, really, really, really awesome. And you can see the Kashyyyk wall right there. It's obviously not the final wall, it's just a temporary wall to show where it's going to go. It's going to be a little smaller. Well, it might be just a little smidge smaller than that. But it's around the size. And yeah, so that's what the barricades look like on their stands or barricades, platforms, whatever you want to call them. I might call them different names, but yeah, that's what they look like, and they look absolutely awesome. It really looks like Kashyyyk. When I put these up, I was like, wow, that is cool. That is cool. And a lot of you are like, how did they get up to the top of the tree here? Well, Master Yoda can just do his back flips up, or they can take one of these, which of course wants to break on me. It's an old Lego design. What do you expect? And take one of these up to the tree like that. There's all kinds of different ways, or the Wookiee catamaran right there. But yeah, here's a kind of not a walkway, but just these things. This is in Kashyyyk. It really, I don't know, really kind of sets the tone for Kashyyyk. I also put a couple over here as well. Obviously, I still have some more to build that will go right here to this Kashyyyk tree. That's still obviously halfway done now. So it's looking really, really awesome, and Kashyyyk just got that much cooler with these on. So yeah, I'm gonna zoom in and just show them to you. It's pretty wicked if you ask me. And I think that's 12 of them, just on one side. It's 12. And those things are a process to make. So after all that work, they look really great actually. I'm really happy and satisfied with it. I hope you guys are too. But this is making me really happy seeing this, because it's something that's obviously very kind of a key trademark of Kashyyyk, is having these like platforms that go like this. So it's just really awesome to see them, actually all of them on their stilts and everything, and I think it looks just great. Really happy with the way they turned out. So yeah, what do you guys think? I think this just kind of made the video. So a lot of progress this video, guys. We got the Kashyyyk platforms done. We got half of the Kashyyyk tree already done in one video. So that's pretty impressive, if I may say so myself. And then also we're gonna, by next week, we'll have the Kashyyyk walls up on each side. We'll probably get the Kashyyyk tree all the way up to the platform. And then maybe I'll build some more of these as well. So by next week, we're going to be seeing quite a lot more of building Kashyyyk. And then once we get all that done, once we get this second tree done, all the stilts up, then we'll get back onto the mountain and the base, and we'll go ahead and continue in that area. And once that's done, once the mountain's done behind it, we'll come back to the Kashyyyk and do all the fine details, and wait for it, Kashyyyk will finally be done. But that is probably a good amount of work that's going to be involved. And with Christmas coming up, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to spend more or less time on Kashyyyk. Just depends on what I have going on. So more info on that later, but definitely next week. I don't have anything going on this month of November, so we're going to be seeing a lot more work like this. Alright guys, let's end out the video. How do you like this? Let me know in the comments. Give me a big thumbs up for this. I think this looks awesome. Let's end it out.
Okay guys, so how'd you enjoy that? How awesome was that last part? We got through half of the Kashyyyk tree in one video. I think we spent at least 3-4 weeks on the Kashyyyk tree over there. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool that we were able to do a lot of building in just one video, plus all the platforms, or whatever you want to call those. I think those look really great. I think it really makes Kashyyyk look, you know, like Kashyyyk. So I was really happy with how those turned out. Definitely going to build some more. I'll have some more built next week, and hopefully by next week we'll also have the platform going around the tree. We'll build it up high enough so we can already get to that point. Yeah, we're gonna be like flying on this, guys. We're gonna, you know, I know a lot of you, when I said I was expanding, a lot of you, oh no, it's gonna drag it all out again. Oh no, you know, I heard a lot of that, and trust me, we are gonna get back on task where we should have been. So we're gonna fly through building this extra tree, getting these platforms done, any other things on the outside of Kashyyyk, you know, getting all that green done, building the Kashyyyk wall the way it should have been. All of that we're going to get done probably in the next 1 or 2 weeks. So that way we can get back onto the mountain and get back onto the base and finish that up, so that we can actually go back to the Kashyyyk, do all the fun details, and then we'll be done. Yeah, I know, the word done, as in like, done with what, David? You know, that part of Kashyyyk? I'm talking about the whole Kashyyyk. Now that's a bit far away, but it could be, throwing this out there, February or January, or hell, even, excuse my language, even March, probably at the latest would be March, we could be completed with Kashyyyk. It all depends on making sure that I have circulate funds. Funds are still coming in. I don't have to put money in other areas, which now it's getting Christmas time, money is getting lower because I have to, you know, do certain things. So funds, the time I get, and just overall work effort, you know, how fast am I building. And as you can see in this segment, if I really work hard through the week, I can definitely do a lot. So that's really exciting. Plus I had a lot of the parts come in this week. Everything came in on time, and there was no excuses not to build. So yeah. Okay guys, before we end off the video, I got a survey link below. It's for Minifigs For You, my website, where I sell custom Lego printed minifigures. And printed minifigures to a lot of you might be like, you mean decals, right? No, I'm actually taking a printer and it's directly taking the design that I made and printing that onto the figure itself. No decals involved. It's a lot of work. Those figures, you know, they seem like pretty high price, but they're really not for the work I put into them. They're really worth it. Trust me. There's a lot of work that goes into those things. Anyhow, there's a survey below for Minifigs For You on what Lego custom figure should I make next, and I need your guys' help. So, and on top of just for helping me with that, guys, for taking a survey, you get a 5% off coupon. That's really cool off the site, and I think that's good till January 1st, 2015. So if you're watching this video before that date, I'm sure the survey link is still active. By all means, go take the survey. Go get yourself a 5% coupon for just taking the survey. And the survey is kind of fun. If you're a Lego fan, you would trust me, you would enjoy the survey, because we're talking about what awesome figures based on awesome shows should we do next. So please, guys, check out the link below, share it with your friends, make sure everybody's on board with taking the survey. That's going to be it, guys. So next week we're going to do even more building. So if you enjoyed this segment, then you should definitely hit the subscribe button down below, because if you enjoyed all that building we just did, next week's going to be twice as better. And guess what? Subscribing is free, and you get the next week's video for free. I know, right? Too awesome. Well, that's it, guys. Give this video a big thumbs up, and you guys have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.